Hi everyone, it's Clarissa with Maple Hill Farm Stand. If you are here, you probably enjoy gardening, growing your own food, chickens, maybe kids are okay sometimes too. And I am a YouTube gardening channel. Oh, it got windy. I do landscape design locally, and it all started off with, you know, some YouTube videos, and here we are. So today I wanted to give you guys an update on the front yard. I planted maybe 300 bulbs this past fall, which I know is not a lot compared to some gardeners, but that's a first for me and quite a bit for us in this small space. And I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on what I have planned for out here. It's really exciting, and you know, just it's hard to rein in your ideas, and I'm interested to see what I say now and then what happens this year, a year from now, 2 years from now, you know, what comes of it and what ends up being fruitful in this plan. So here we go. Okay, so here's our front door seedlings outside, sticks from various projects. You can see we have this step down. I had to dig this little trench because water would just settle here, and we just don't have the kind of funds to quickly dig up this area. So we dug a little trench here and a little one right here, so water would hopefully go down. And I would really like to plant blue colored things right here. I saw some really beautiful lobelia today from Proven Winners. The name is Laguna, and it's a really nice blue color, dark and light blues. So I think I'm going to get a few of those and pop them in there so it looks like water through the season. And they really like more water, so it should be fine. That is meant to be a bird bath, but I don't have a top for it. So this bush is probably going to come out sooner than later. I don't like them. I think they are not very pretty, and they don't do anything for me, and I'd rather put really anything else here. And I'll show you what's up front. This is your view from our driveway. This is just a little garden bed we have. Excuse the trash, we were playing outside yesterday. This is Lavender Plants we had transplanted. I'm not sure that one's gonna make it back, but it was free, so you know, it's not a big deal. This one does still have some green on it, so I'm really hoping it pulls through. I didn't actually trim them because I had transplanted them. It still smells beautiful so late in the year. I love adding things like this into the garden. I know it looks maybe silly to some people, but it's kind of fun to have just a pop of something different there. And you know, my kids painted those. My Vinca should come right back like it does every year. We cut it back pretty severely and it just comes roaring back to life, going clear across just everywhere. It takes over. Nothing is in that yet, hopefully soon. You can see here a row of alternating tulips and something else. Maybe they're not daffs. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. I didn't label anything. We'll find out. And then you can see my irises there. I'm probably going to go ahead and take some small rocks right here just to line everything. And here is our path. My son was digging with his shovel. Here are some more irises coming up. These came with the house. They were already here. So did this bush. I believe this is a flowering dogwood. And we'll probably move it because we have this huge weeping cherry tree over it, and I just can't see how they aren't going to compete. I planted this hydrangea. You can see growth. Last year, I think I got it on super sale at Rural King for like $5. It was the end of season. I was like, hey, can't hurt to try. So this will come up and it will be much bigger. That's why I'm not very hesitant to take this out. It's not like there won't be anything here. And I did plant, you can see some sprouts of tulips and things. And that's probably what this front garden will be, is just a tube bed, root flower bed. You can see my little drift I did here, just around. And I did put some lupine seeds in here as well. I just kind of sprinkled them, and if they come up, they come up, and if they don't, it's not a big deal. I think that's another dogwood. So again, that might be something that comes out. It just depends. This one's obviously much bigger, and my foremost concern. This one's smaller right now. Might be able to stay there. I'm not sure. We'll see. There's some more irises here. These are a different color iris, as well as these. This one over here, these ones came with the house, and then the ones down this flower bed were all from my friend Rhonda. One of her daughters or something was moving somewhere, and they had them and were digging them up, and she gave them to me, so I got them. Here's our little drainage bed creek, as you can see. Like I said, I think those lobelia will look really great there. They get enough shade, and then all the water comes down there. I think they'll do great, and they're just something I can easily plant an annual in, because I'm very bad at planting annuals in general, but if I have something, just one small, I know I can put that there. You can see around our flag we have some tulips coming up. I purposely planted those in a little circle. I thought it would be so beautiful. And then there's some more flanking this area. I can't remember. They look kind of like daffodils, you know. Maybe they're a late daff here. I mean, the leaves look just like them. And this is their first year, so maybe they're just blooming a little later. These are ranunculus that I actually planted in the fall. We are zone 6B, so things like that can be really iffy here. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And I got those in like a cheap multi-pack. I just threw them in, called them a day, and some of them are coming up. Here you can see my lupin. There's some more over there. Very excited. I already have to get out here and weed. Ugh. Irises, and then these daffodils were here when we bought the house. There's the other irises. I did make sure to put drifts of tulips between the irises and the daffs. There are some alliums in here. I'm not sure where. I just threw them in. Ignore the mango. We just throw fruit out here to compost down. But I'm not sure. I think those are just wild onions. I don't think those are the alliums. And there's another little cluster of tulips and my irises again. And then I did a little drift of tulips around this curve. These should all be black, white, or pink. That was the plan. As long as I didn't mix it up. That's what they should be. That is a little echinacea. I'm gonna try not to step on any bulbs. All this wildness, if you're a seasoned gardener, you know those are my poppies. The first year I did not know, and I ripped all of them out because I didn't realize what they were. I thought they were weeds because, well, that's what poppies look like. This is a, what is it called? Cornflower? No. Tick seed, that's what it is. It's a perennial and it comes back every year. This was, sorry, I'm just picking some weeds while I'm standing here. This was here when we moved in, and I really don't mind it, so I've left it. Here's another drift of my tulip bulbs, just alternating colors. Here's my rose bush. This is the very first rose bush I ever bought last year, and it is beautiful, big, red roses. I thought about putting a couple of bushes in here, but we really aren't sure what we're doing with this front bed yet. And where the brick is red, I don't want to keep putting more red. Red is fine, but it's not my favorite, and I don't want to perpetuate this well, it has to be red. You can see here's some of my little Echinacea. In the fall, I just go ahead and go around and pick the heads off and throw them around, and whatever the birds don't eat ends up coming back or reseeding itself somewhere else. Here's some. This is the one without drainage. I have a couple of containers here that managed to not get drainage holes put in them. I don't know if I was just distracted that day or what, but they flooded a little bit after some pretty heavy rains, so I've just moved them and left them to be what they are. Here is, now these could very well be sunflowers. As you see, we do have seeds here, and then I did actually take any sunflower heads left over from last year and just threw them out here. I am very much just a willy-nilly gardener. I want to be organized and have beautiful, shapely garden beds and drifts and have it all make sense, and I don't. I am cottage garden to the extreme. I am, if it lands there, if a seed pod lands there and that's where it starts growing, well, I guess that's where it's gonna grow. Sometimes I wish I wasn't. Other times I'm glad I am. And in my landscaping day job, I get to be much more organized and, you know, so about everything. So I don't mind it so much. Here is the climbing rose. I made a video about planting in February, and it's still dormant, but it's here. This plant is coming up, which is interesting. And then this piece that I hadn't removed because I was pretty sure it would come back is indeed coming back. Still am not quite sure what it is, but it's here. So we will leave it, see what happens. Here is, down here, this is a Japanese maple, and these rocks are going to come down to the edge here just to create a border. But that's a Japanese maple, and it comes back every year. It's very beautiful. We have one rose there, that other dormant rose right there. Sorry, I should probably point. There's some lupin that I'd sprinkled around in there. We had removed 3 barberry bushes from here. They were just awful. Worst things. I hate them. I could live the rest of my life without seeing another one. So I figured some rose bushes here, and then we actually picked up 2 blueberry bushes today that might go pretty well up in this top corner. I think that would be really nice. Elias is very excited about blueberries. We do plan on some sort of walking path through here because soon, hopefully this summer, the village is going to come in and put in a sidewalk for all the way up the road. There's a school up there. So fingers crossed we get a sidewalk, and you see this ridge here. I'm gonna go ahead and put lavender all along it. We have a very wet climate. We get a lot of rain, but I'm hoping that, I'll show you. You can see how severe this drop-off is, and I'm hoping with that severe drop-off the drainage is great and does just enough for the lavender. Obviously there's currently grass here. We are going to find a way to kill it all, probably. Just layering with cardboard chunks at a time as much as we can, doing borders with what we can, that kind of thing. And then I'd really love to put some type of bush along the driveway. I, again, am not a boxwood person. The formality just doesn't do it for me. but I thought maybe there's some type of blueberries that look similar to boxwoods, but have berries. I also thought about some Russian sage here, which we might mix in with the lavender down here. Just some really pretty color to edge this. This is our weeping cherry. I've trimmed her back 2 years in a row now. She grows crazy, but it's a great tree. And then you can see here, I know this is a little more weedy. It's not as thickly mulched, but we have tons of bulbs coming up. Like I said, tulips, maybe some alliums. I can't remember where I planted them. Frankly, I don't know. I think this is a type of tulip. I should cover that up a little more. I need to come back in here with mulch, but the birds came in. We have our bird feeders, and they came in and roughed it all up. But we have tons of tulips. These will all be like a rainbow. There was a rainbow variety package that I bought. And I think that, yeah, so where this drainage is, I think that I'd like the sort of pathway to come down from there and go down the hill. We'll have to put some sort of stairs or something in there, make a step at least, but I think that'd be really nice and have a path through. And we'll probably get more flat rocks and put them, you know, if we put the blueberries over there, we'll need some sort of pathway to get to them. So we'll get to that as we do, but I always feel like just this crazy person. I'm not a sit down and design it. I am just it's in my head and I have to do it, and then if it doesn't work, I'll do it again, and if that doesn't work, I'll do it again. And there's a lot of people who aren't like that. Rika, it's me. There's obviously people who are planners, and I just have never had success being a planner. Here's our beautiful lilac bush. I'm so excited for them this year. They're gonna be amazing. But I am not a good plan person. Like I said, I wish I was. Hi, Rika. Hi, Rika. Hey. That puppy irritates her from no end. Aztec. Hi, bud. Our neighbor had some leaves, so we had to come over. Our neighbor had some leaves, so we had them come and dump them in the yard. We figured the chickens would go through them. I did move the chicken coop, which I'll show you probably in the next video. I just wanted to document some of this for me and for you, and you know, just to see. These are our rows of Sharons along the side of the house, and they're very beautiful. But we keep getting blackberry brambles, and they are the bane of my existence. And they seem to be just this absolute nest for those, what are they, the Asian beetles. They're those little shiny ones, not June bugs, smaller than that, super invasive, and they just like climb all over here. I did plant sunflowers along the inside of our fence last year, and for some reason those beetles were few and far between in the actual yard. So I don't know if those kind of keep them away or not. We have some Vinca coming over here. This is our rabbit dump bed. I know it's quite close to the house, but it was just this completely overgrown disaster zone. And I just started dumping stuff there, and we'll see what happens. There's some seeds coming up, I think. They're either sunflowers or lupin. And I'm fine with that. It's just a flagpole. We don't have a flag on it currently because ours was too tattered. This part of our yard is very difficult. Obviously we have neighbors, which is fine, but you can kind of see there's a dent here, and water sits there, and I just don't know what to do with it. I would like to not plant a tree because of how close to the house and our neighbor's house it is. I do not want to plant a tree there. A weeping willow would do great there, but again, very close to the homes. Here is our Boxwoods that came with the house. They are quite large. And as someone who doesn't really enjoy them, I don't know what to do with them, but they're kind of keeping up this part of the hill where the drainage is and everything, so I've just let them be what they are. But I think that is it for this video. I know it's a short one, and it's kind of funky and sporadic. That's just all I have for today. I'm going to try and get some work done. Next week I go ahead and I start on 2 landscaping jobs. I'm really excited to show you guys. One of them is just a privilege to be a part of. I have a friend whose parents passed away. They were avid gardeners, and she is getting ready to sell their house, and it's just touching up things, ripping out, you know, trees and things like that that have sprouted in places it shouldn't. But they were avid gardeners, and it's a beautiful home, and they just want to make sure that it's listing ready, and I'm thrilled to be able to be a part of that, to bring back some of that you know, comfort that her parents found in their garden, and it's fun for me. And the other one is just a garden bed touch-up. I did that job last year. I did a major overhaul, and now I just need to kind of touch things up for this year. Yeah, and that'll be my first 2 official jobs of the year, which I know is cheesy, and you know, it's just 2, but it's something I love doing. It's really fun, especially when, you know, I have all these plants for my garden, but it's not an overnight thing, and it takes time and money, and I'll move out of the wind. It takes time and money, and it's nice to be able to do for other people, and be able to go, awesome, you know, this is what I can do for you with what you have, and how we can reinvent these things so you can find the joy in your yard that I find in my yard. You know, I enjoy the planning and the doing, and some people don't or can't, but they still want to enjoy the after as well, and it's really fun to be able to provide the after for people and just see the relief that they get to relax in their space, that they, you know, want to spend time in and just can't find a way to make it work. So, there's my ramble, but that's it for today. Thank you for coming and watching this. This is Zone 6B gardening, so keep that in mind. When you see me plant things or doing things, it's 6B, Southeast Ohio. We have a very interesting climate. I know some of you going, oh, that's too early, and oh, that's, you know, but it's very finicky here, and we do the best we can with what we have. So if you like what I have going on and want to see more, please give this video a like, follow me, or subscribe. That's the word for YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or comments or input on what you think I should do, go ahead, shoot me a comment down below. I am always open to constructive criticism, just as long as you're not grumpy about it. I'll see you on the next one.